What's up, everybody? Today we are training legs. The exercise that nobody wants to train, huh? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, right here we're doing a little warm up with just the barbell. I always like to warm up with the barbell first. That way I can get my body primed and warmed up without overloading the muscle. And I can also work on my form. I believe form is everything. Form is what prevents injuries, and it needs to be taken serious. I like to pause at the bottom for 2 seconds and come back up slowly. But always make sure to warm up before you exercise. Alright, let's get to business. Right here we're doing the good old classic barbell squats. They say this is the ultimate leg builder. Nothing beats squats, and I think I agree. Squats is a compound exercise, so it doesn't just work your quads, it's working your glutes, your hamstrings, your abductors, your adductors. It's working all of it at once. And just like everybody else, I'm human too, so I need a break. I like to drink water on my break, think about my next rep, my next set. I always like to stand up on my breaks also to make sure that my body is regulating. But yeah, like I said, the squats is the best leg exercise that you can do for leg development. So some cues that you can do for the squats. Before you lower your body, extend your hips. Push your hips back. Make sure your glute muscles and your core is tightened. Come down slowly, hold for 2 seconds, and go back up. Hey, here we are on another break. Look, it's just me drinking some water, huh? Usually when I do squats, I like to take about a minute and a half break. I don't want to take too long because I don't want my body to freeze up. Alright, we're back to it. So as you can see, I only had the 45s on. And that's fine with me because I'm not worried about throwing around heavy weight. You know, I always say do what you can do. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. I'm still just getting back to doing squats. So I'll say after the next workout, I'm going to add a 5-pound plate on. So then I'll gradually build up from there. I'll build up by 10 pounds. All right, here we go. We have the old-fashioned leg press. This exercise right here is really good for your quad development. It doesn't just work your quads, it works your glutes, even a little bit of your hamstrings. This is probably a safer version to train your legs, especially for beginners. Well, for one, so you don't have a big barbell on your back. And here I am taking a break again. I love that water, huh? Hey, can you all do me a favor? Can you drop in the comments what video do you want to see next? I would gladly appreciate that. I'm serving you all, not myself. Alright, so we're getting back to it. So a tip for when you're doing the leg press, when you come up, try not to extend your knees. Try not to lock out your knees because that can cause damage to your knees. You want to get close to lockout, but not quite at lockout. And also brace your core. All your power comes from your core. That's really important. Yeah, here I am on break. Look at me, just smiling. And always stay hydrated. Hydrate before you go to the gym. Trust me, you do not want to work out when you're dehydrated because you're not going to perform well. And with this exercise, I like to do at least 10 to 12 reps. Now, when I get to 10 to 12 reps, it should feel like you're at failure. Right when you get to 10 to 12 reps, it should be about 90 to 95%. It shouldn't be like, 50%, because that way your muscle can grow. I know you guys are like, why is this dude always taking breaks? I would say for a leg press, I would take about a minute break at most. It's not as taxing as a barbell squat, so that's why with the barbell squats, I like to take longer because it's more taxing on the body. All right, here we go. We got some leg extensions. This is one of my favorite isolation exercises for the quads. I don't have to worry about hamstrings, glutes, or anything else involved. So like, if I want to make sure I'm getting my quads stronger, I always do leg extensions. Now with this exercise, make sure your toes are pointed upwards. And here I am on break. But hey guys, I'm almost to 1,000 subscribers, so just cheer me on, keep motivating me. Hopefully I'll get there in a couple of weeks. Yeah, I just remember growing up, me and my brother, we used to do challenges with this exercise. We used to see how many reps we could do with a certain weight. This exercise just brought a lot of memories. Now when you get to the top, pause for 2 seconds and then lower it back down slowly. That way you're getting a good contraction, you're getting a good squeeze at the top. Oh man, it's a break guy. I should just make a separate video on me taking breaks, huh? But yeah, once again, I think this exercise is really good for strengthening your quad muscles. And again, I like to do this the same with leg press, 10 to 12 reps. Because, like, again, it's not as taxing as it is with the barbell squats. So I'm able to get more reps. But make sure you keep it around 90 to 95%. You know, you don't want to get to 10 to 12 reps and you still have 10 more reps in you. You know, you want to get that good workout. All right, now we got the good old-fashioned hamstring curl. This exercise is really good for strengthening your hamstring muscles. And if you want your hamstrings to get bigger, this exercise is really good for it. Once again, this is an isolation exercise, so it's not a compound. So I can really focus on developing the hamstrings. So let's go over some tips. When you get to the bottom, hold it for 2 seconds. The same on leg extensions, and come back up slowly. Sorry guys, I forgot to put the rep range on this, but I like to keep it 10 to 12 as always. You can go 12 to 15 if you want, but just make sure that your last few reps is around 90 to 95% effort. Just look at me struggling with the pad, huh? But yeah, guys, I really enjoy making fitness content for you all. You guys motivate me to the max. I didn't really know how I was going to do with making fitness content, but if you guys like this video, hit the subscribe button and have a beautiful rest of your day.